What's good, YouTube? It's Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to y'all with another video. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Also, check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. If you want a t-shirt, you can message me on Facebook. I got different type of logos and images. You can get any color shirt, or you can change the logo on the shirt. Just message me on Facebook if you're interested. We're going to talk about Wendell Carter's finishing ability. He is a smart player, gets to space, gets to room. He could pull up. They respect it, so he gets to the basket and lays it in. Right here, he sets a screen, gives them the option. He's too slow, blows past him after he pump fakes. That's a veteran move. Didn't get the foul, but he got the finish. Right here, he sets another screen. They didn't want to go with, so he gets fouled. Finishes, that's going to be tough, but he is good at floaters and little lean-in shots. Especially when you see him in high school and college. This one, he just makes the right read, screens, rolls. They don't pay attention to him. The defense collapse, and he just gets the dunk basically because of that. This, you see him just get a tip in. He going to get a lot of points like this playing in the NBA because he's so fast and so quick and got a good bounce. Here he's going to get the little 15 and below. He can hit those shots, like I said, the little floater jumpers. He sets another screen, goes, rolls, stops, pops, floater jumper right there, just to guide it in with your hand and the soft touch. Here he gets the screen, gets the space, reads the defense, but he also continues to stay in the area and gets a slant right there, gets the pass and goes right up and dunks it. Right here, you see Wendell Carter showing that he can get a trail three. That's an impressive thing because that's the new thing. Everybody wants to come back slow. It's either you're going to roll to the rim by running or you're just going to get a three. Here, the guy disrespects him, doesn't close out, so he pulls up and whacks it. Wendell Carter do have range in that three-point shot. He's a versatile forward and a multifaceted scorer, and we're going to check out some more of his scoring right here. Here, he gets another three. This time it's contested. He just shot over him. The guy wasn't tall enough. That's going to be another problem since he can play the 4 or the 5 and guard threes and twos on the switches. Here he just posts up too fast, too quick, too slithery. Gets him to go up, goes up and under, and just lays it in. This one, he just powering on, goes over him, gets enough space to bank it in. It didn't look like it, but he did. He got another angle. He blocked that one angle. He had went up the other angle, so he got a good look. Here he bangs and swings again. He didn't have as much space, but he still had his eyes on the basket and just tapped that in while the other guy tried to use his hand to contest it. Here is where he gonna have his bread and butter. Rotating, help defense, using his speed and quickness to help and bail out his teammates that can't guard perimeter players, aka help defense and rotations, especially when it comes to blocks. His guy is going to get beat off the dribble a lot because Jabari not a good defender. Zach is not a good defender, and neither is Lauri Markkanen. But he switched right there. That's impressive. Get a littler guy on that wants to blow past him. He gets a clean block without fouling. Here he helps again. His teammate was getting beat off the dribble. Was a step behind, and he helps clean that up. Here again, his teammates try to contest that shot. That was good defense, but he comes and clears it up so they don't even get the attempt off. Is me. Wendell Carter is one of the best prospects in this draft. A guy that is very young and has an enormous, I gotta use that word, enormous amount of potential. This guy is going to be special if he continues to work on his craft and buys into team defense and buys into just growing and getting chemistry with his teammates. Obviously, they didn't really have a big that can play defense. Robin Lopez is a solid center, but he's not going to be there long term because he doesn't fit the age group that this team is building upon. Also, Lauri, he can play the 5 or the 4. Obviously, he's 7 feet tall and he's mobile and athletic, but he's not a guy that you anchor your defense around, and he wasn't a great defender anyway last year. And like I said, with Jabari Parker and Zach LaVine on the perimeter, you're going to need somebody that's going to contest and contain that paint and anchor that defense when they get beat off the dribble or, just help even with Lauri Markkanen because he's not strong enough and big enough sometimes. And like you've seen in this footage, that, this guy is special and he's young. This guy is going to be one of the better players in this draft. Obviously, he was took number 7 by this Bulls team, and they seen something in him. I thought they would go for more of a 4, like a Mikal Bridges or somebody that can fit in with Zach LaVine and them on the corner. But they actually just went for another big, which was surprising to some people, not everybody, but to some people it was a little surprised. But Wendell Carter, basically by the end of next year, he'll be 20 years old. He's coming into the NBA 19 for majority of the season, and if you watch that summer league footage, you see ample amount of improvement. This guy can become a better 3-point shooter. This guy can become a significantly better finisher as he adds muscle and strength to that body. Even though he is 6'10", 250, you don't really stop growing until you're 21. So he can grow to a legitimate 7 foot, and he can be a mobile big that can pair with Lauri Markkanen. And they're both the modern day fours and fives that you want to have and build your offense and your defense around. They both can stretch out the floor. They both are long and lanky. They both can shoot the three. They both can is solid free throw shooters. And on top of that, Wendell Carter heals that deficiency that Lauri Markkanen has, which you can't really blame him because he was a rookie and he had to understand the game. He has to get better. He had to learn how they was going to scout him and how they was going to play him, how they was going to guard him, and how they was going to try to attack him on defense. But that's going to be the same thing that's going to happen to Wendell Carter. He's going to come in starting from the bottom. People don't know who he is. People don't really know what he can bring to the table. People are going to be optimistic in, figuring out how they can utilize Wendell Carter, what they can do, how they can cover up some of their deficiencies on the perimeter, how he can become an impact player. And like I said, for him to be 19, to know where to be at on the court, whether it's rolling to the rim, whether it's stopping and popping, whether it's diving to the rim, looking for a pass, or even passing to his teammates before he get caught up in the air or make an error or a turnover, just making the right decisions is something that I'm kind of highly impressed about him as a rookie. Even at summer league, even in college, he said that he didn't really get to play the role that he wanted to play. He couldn't do what he wanted to do because of playing with Marvin Bagley. Marketing is completely the opposite. He's a guy that can shoot and knock down the mid-range in the three, and he can play in the pick and roll. And one of the best things about it is Lauri Markkanen is a decent passer. Wendell Carter is a great passer for his age and for his experience level, but I can very well see them playing off each other and basically making an impact in his NBA right away, because they might not be a playoff team, they might not be a championship team, but this team has a beautiful future. They have the players that can create their own shot. They have the players that can take over in the fourth quarter to a certain extent. They have the 3-point shooting to a certain extent. They have the athleticism, and now they have two bigs that can play multiple positions, switch, and get rebounds. And that's another thing. He was a solid rebounder in summer league, giving you 16 rebounds one game, giving you 8. So this is a team that's going to take a lot of jump shots. So he's going to have an opportunity to get more offensive rebounds. And, the more he grows, the more he bulks up, the more he gets experience throughout the season, even in his sophomore season. I see that the sky is the limit. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Jaren Jackson, just a little bit more polished. He's a better, he doesn't foul as much. He's more poised. He doesn't really force as much. And yeah, he can hit the three, but he's not in love with that three ball. And that's another thing that I like about him. He takes the shots that he knows he's going to make. He takes the shots that's best for the offense. Like you seen in the footage, he takes the threes because they're open, because they're giving it to him. He takes those jumpers because it's open. They ain't going to let him roll to the basket. So he's going to have to learn how to knock down that 15-footer and below. And then you start seeing that he adds the floater. Okay, they're not going to guard me here because they want me not to go to the paint. Okay, then I just float it inside the basket. I just stop and pop and hit that jump shot. And then they're going to have to start respecting that move. So then he can slide to the rim and get an alley-oop or get a dunk or kick it out to Market and kick it out to Levine in the corner. Give it to Jabari Parker that can knock down threes to a certain level. But he also can come off the dribble. You rotate because you see a three-point shooter. Okay, pump fake, get to the basket, kick it off the Wendell Carter, kick it off the Lauri Markkanen, or get a layup, dunk, or a free throw. So the thing about this Chicago Bulls offense is that it has unlimited potential. When you have guys that can create their own shot and guys that can play in the pick and roll and guys that can play multiple positions, and you have outside shooting in your big that can space out the floor for a guy like Chris Dunn, who likes to get to the paint and finish and get to the free throw line. Zach LaVine is a guy that can beat anybody off the dribble and get to the lane, get layups and dunks. And then you have bigs that stretch out the floor that even helps Jabari Parker, a guy likes to score in isolation. situation, you can put them in those one-on-one situations, and you don't really want to help because you have so many weapons around him that can create their own shot. But not only that, knock down threes, and if they roll to the basket, you got some bigs that can finish in that paint, get layups and dunks, or even knock down a 15-footer, and that just make you even harder to guard in general when you have so many playmakers and you have so much floor space, and especially if you have the ball movement. If everybody touching the ball, everybody passing that ball, everybody moving around consistently, this could be one of the tougher teams to guard. Now, defensively, Wendell Carter is not going to heal all their problems. He's not going to change the way we perceive the Bulls right now, because you're relying on a 19-year-old to be the anchor and the defensive player of the year of your defense. Now, that's not realistic. I'm not saying that Wendell Carter, he was amazing in Summer League. He was blocking everything. He was contesting. He was playing with a lot of heart, a lot of effort, a lot of energy. He wanted to defend. He wanted to get blocks. He wanted to get stops. And that's the type of mentality you need to be a good defender. You have to want it. You have to put the effort. You have to put the energy. You have to want to rotate. You have to be reading. You have to be communicating with your teammates. And if you're able to do stuff like that, that's going to make you even better defensively, because now you know the plays because you played against this team. You know how they're going to play. You know the guy's strengths and weaknesses because you read the scouting report. If he's willing to continue to put that work in and gain more knowledge and enhance his basketball IQ like he's been showing in Summer League and in college, then this guy can make them even a better team quicker. I'm not going to say he's going to do it in his first year, but sophomore year, he might have it all down pat and he can expand his game and his body. We don't really know what to expect. The sky is the limits for the Chicago Bulls team. They got rid of Jimmy Butler. A lot of people was going at their head. A lot of people was saying that they was crazy. You trade Jimmy Butler for Zach LaVine and Dunn in the 7th pick. Now you get Zach LaVine and Dunn, and then you get marketed, and then you pair him up with Wendell Carter. Then you add Jabari Parker. Then now you have a team that's respectable in the Eastern Conference. Maybe they're not a playoff team. Maybe they're not the best team ever, but that's a whole lot of talent 1 year removed from the Jimmy Butler trade. And that's good talent. Most people said that they should be a borderline playoff team. They should finish 10th or ninth or even the 8th seed. And we don't really know how Fred Hoiberg is going to coach this team because he hasn't really been able to put his mark down and his stamp down on the team. The team was built around Derrick Rose and it was built around Jimmy Butler. Now the team is built around other guys this year too. And then they add another piece in Wendell Carter. So he has a lot of work to do. He been able to take them to the playoffs. Obviously, they missed it last year because Zach LaVine missed half the season. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how well Coach Hoiberg can coach. Can he anchor a defense? Can he get a ball movement offense? Can he change the way Zach LaVine and Jabari and Chris Dunn play? Can they add more to their game in this summer and make them even more versatile offensively and defensively? Do they want to play defense? Can he get the best defense out of this team? Can he get this team to become a decent three-point shooting team so they can be a threat? How is he going to utilize Wendell Carter? The way they utilized him in Summer League, he was special. He was one of the top 5 players in Summer League to me. Even though he had a 6-point game, you got to look at the whole body of work. Another thing is, like I said before, Wendell Carter, he reminded me a lot of Joakim Noah. His ability to set screens, to create space for his teammates, his ability to do the dribble handoffs where he can dribble, set a screen, hand it off. Zach LaVine can get pull-up jumpers. Jabari can get pull-up jumpers. The screens can allow you to have those lanes because you have the floor spacing for Chris Dunn to get layups and dunks and get to the free throw line, but also knock down that 15-footer. If they go under the screen, he can blow past anybody. If they go over the screen, then obviously it's easier because Chris Dunn is not known as a three-point shooter, and that's going to be something that he's going to have to improve on, but you still have to pay attention to Wendell Carter, who can still knock down that 15-foot jump shot or even roll hard to the rim and just get a layup or dunk or just kick it out to Marketing Parker or Zach LaVine, who's a solid three-point shooter. So this team has a limited amount of potential. This team has a high ceiling if they get the best coaching out of Hoiberg and if they can get the best out of their players that's young. We expecting a lot from this team. This team has a lot of hype. This team, a lot of people can't wait to see them play after adding Jabari Parker, and people can't wait to see Wendell Carter playing with better talent. This is a better fit than college. This is a better coach team. He's playing with better talent compared to college, and now he has no excuse. They know how to use him. They know what they want to do with him. They know that what he can bring to the table. Plus, he has the floor spacing. Plus, they took that leash off of him and let him roam around and become more of himself and put more of himself into the game. So I like Wendell Carter. I think he'd be good. I think that this is a good pickup for them, and this is something that they needed since they got Jabari Parker at that 3 position. They filled that hole while still getting the guy that they need offensively and defensively, and a guy that has a lot of potential offensively and defensively. This is a potential defensive player of the year. This is a potential 12 to 13 point game averager this season. He can give you 13 and 8, 13 and 7, and 1.5, 2 blocks and 1 steal. He can do that as a rookie. It depends on how many minutes he has and how they utilize him. Other than that, if he's getting 25 to 30 minutes a game, there's no way he can't be all rookie first team. This is a better draft class than a lot of people expected. It all depends on playing time. It all depends on minutes, how this team is going to click. And you can say that about other teams with their draft picks. But if they're going to start Wendell Carter and he plays like he played in Summer League, they have something special, and they should take care of that. And on top of that, they add that 3 spot I thought they had to really fill, and they still get the center and the player that they need. The Bulls is moving in the right direction, and they could be a scary team if they gel, if they get the chemistry, and if Fred Hoiberg coach the way we know he can coach like he did in college, this team can be a surprise. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. And let me know what you guys think about Wendell Carter. Is he a bust? Is he overrated? Is he underrated? Is he the steal of the draft? Should he went higher? Should he went lower? Or do you think he just a modern day 4, modern day 5 that's getting a little bit too much hype? Either way it go, we all got our opinions. We all got our own thoughts. And he did look special and like one of the best players. I enjoyed seeing him in Summer League.